Jack Higgins was a world-famous author. His 85 novels have sold over 150 million copies and made him a multimillionaire. At the pinnacle of his career, he was asked what he wished he'd known when he was younger. He replied, "I wish someone had told me that when you get to the top, there's nothing there." Many people work harder and harder, climbing the ladder of success, only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. If the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster.
From Proverbs 16, verses 1 to 9.
To human beings belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. All a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. The Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster. The Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. Through love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. Through the fear of the Lord, evil is avoided. When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps.
Success. So, what is the secret of true success? True success comes from having God at the center of every aspect of your life, your family, money, work, possessions, friends, pleasures, and so on. It's not wrong to plan ahead. It is assumed in this passage that you will do so. You may have plans for your job, your family, your church, your holidays, and so on. Whatever your plans, you want them to be a success. In this proverb, we see the secret of success. There's a condition and a promise. First, the condition of success. Commit to the Lord whatever you do. What does this mean? Well, we need to confide with God. To commit your plans to the Lord means to speak to him about it, his plans, to make plans together with him. There are two ways to go through life. Either we decide we're perfectly capable of running our own lives. We don't need anyone else, not even God. We make our own plans without God to please ourselves. This leads to pride and independence. Alternatively, there is the way of faith. God wants the very best for your life. You discover his plans as you humbly yield your will to him. This is what it means to become a Christian. Stay in that attitude daily, willing to give up anything that clashes with his plans. I remember hearing the actor David Suchet, when he'd recently become a Christian, being asked on the radio whether there were certain roles he would turn down. He replied, "That's a very difficult question. All I can say is now, when I'm offered a part, I go away and pray about it. And if I feel it's wrong, I turn it down. Whereas before it would have been, how much?" Consult with God. This means making all your plans together with God. It may be a help each day to go through your diary, committing each event to the Lord. Perhaps at the beginning of each year, plan ahead with God. You need not go to absurd extremes. You don't need to pray about whether to get up in the morning. Certain things are common sense. God doesn't intend us to be robots. He's given us freedom of choice within the parameters of his word. God will be concerned about anything of concern to you. Secondly, the promise of success. He will establish your plans. What does this mean? God is sovereign. The Lord works out everything for his own ends. God works within events to bring about his purposes. This doesn't mean that only good things happen to us, but in and through everything, good and bad, the Lord works out everything for his own ends. God will work everything out for the good of those who love him. Or as St. Paul puts it, in all things God works for the good of those who love him. There are no loose ends with God. Everything is under his control. Doors may shut and there may be disappointments, or doors may open in marvelous ways. Whatever happens, the Lord determines your steps. This does not necessarily mean material prosperity or a life without difficulty, but it does mean a successful life. True success lies in a right relationship with God and a right relationship with other people. God gives you the freedom and responsibility to make plans. It is positively right for you to do this. And yet, God relates your decisions to your destination. This is not a reason to be passive or fatalistic, but rather it's an encouragement that you can rest assured that God is in ultimate control of your life. You need not be frozen in a state of indecision. You can trust that God will work out everything for good for those who love him. Success can be so dazzling. Many people think they would like a fast car, a big house, loads of money, a touch of fame, and the self-confidence these things appear to bring. However, God does not define success in these terms. You may want to pray that God would change your understanding of success. Then you will start to experience the thrill and fulfillment of true success, a growing relationship with the God who made us, and right relationships with other people. Begin today by committing to God all your plans for the future, short term and long term. Lord, I commit to you again all my plans for the future and ask you to be at the center of every aspect of my life. Thank you for your promise that you will work out everything for good for those who love you.